pleased to have with us in studio the mayor of Ashland, Steve Gilmore. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jim.
Let's talk a little bit about it. It is, we talked about this the last time you were on 2 weeks ago, but it's official now. Boyd County has started their own tourism convention, whatever they're going to call it. So there's a split between the Ashland and Boyd County tourisms. How's that going to affect, I guess the first question that comes to my mind, how's that going to affect Ashland?
Well, obviously it has a revenue impact.
Yeah.
The thing people need to understand about tourism, it's a constituted deal throughout the state. You know, there's state regulations on it and all, and those hotel taxes that come in have to be spent, you know, ensuring tourism in your area, in your city, and wherever. So, you know, 2/3 of it, the county, bigger, more hotels, obviously out there is the big deal of what was coming in. And, you know, I read the article yesterday from their meeting, which I was anticipating their second reading, no problem with that. And comments made by a couple of the commissioners that, we look forward to cooperating with Ashland, you know, in the future and other ways. I don't know what they are. I really don't know what they are. When you have which we're going to cooperate, whatever, we're Boyd Countyans.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I think where we have a situation is they're not Ashlanders. One of them is, but they're not Ashlanders. But we are also Ashlanders and Boyd Countyans. And I think probably we pay more taxes to the county than county residents pay to the county. And they could check that. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. But very proud to be a Boyd County, and probably more proud to say I'm an Ashlander. But, you know, this was a already built-in set system of cooperation. And while, you know, it's kind of a separate entity, the city doesn't run it, the county doesn't run it, the judge and the mayor appoint board members, and they have a director, and they run it. But it's everything is about promoting our city and our area. And as I've said to them, I said in the paper, we'll continue to support the whole area. You know the old phrase, no man is an island. And if you are, you're going to be an awful lonely person out there. But everybody's dependent in some way or the other, and you should be. But something good happens in the county, we're going to promote that. Of course we are. You know, I hope they'll do the same, you know, for the city, and I anticipate they will. I have absolutely no hard feelings. With the judge and I worked 6 months on this, and we thought we had a great situation put together for a temporary. I'm not going to belabor all this, but I think I've said it before. Say a 6 months trial to see if we can't. You know, I understand if some of them felt like they weren't getting maybe a balance with the amount of money they're putting in. That's a hard way to look at it. You know, it's kind of a ebbs and flows. You know,
Sure.
Something's going on out there. Everything's focused on what they're promoting and all that. And something happening in Ashland, you're going to get a shift to that. But it's an overall county kind of deal. And they felt like they weren't getting a fair shake. Well, that's fine. It is more than you know, one event or one path you build out there, or one particular business or something. It's an overall daily, week, month, a year thing of promoting your area, your people. People are willing to put their time and treasures in businesses out there that will bring tourists in, and you're hoping that will enhance the business climate. You know, tourism to us is people coming in and spending their money in our stores and service industries and all that, and they want to come back to our. We want to be very happy with coming through here. They may stay a day, they may stay several days, and everybody working together. People like to see it that way. So I haven't heard a whole lot from me and my residents one way or the other. They know that we'll survive and we'll do the right thing there. But you know, how much money do you need to really promote everything that's coming up? We'll find out. But our hotel hadn't kicked in yet even, so we think they're doing well. In fact, I don't think I knew this last time, but maybe I did say this. I'm not sure it did because it happened in the meantime, but the first month they're open here, their restaurants, I think they told me there were 51 or 61 deltas in America right now. They started in Canada. And this was the #1 restaurant of all of them.
Yeah, that's great.
And at times, I've been there 4 times, and what I really appreciate, I don't know for sure what the overnight stays are yet. You know, they went for about 2 weeks and weren't on the internet. You couldn't get on the web and make a reservation, but I know it's picked up. But when I go there to the restaurant, it's crowded every night. And I'm not saying don't go there because it gets crowded. Depends on what time you go there, of course.
Yeah.
But most of the people I see, I know here in Ashland.
Yeah.
And there are so many places to dine in our city, great places. But sometimes you know it's a little more special when you go in a new hotel, and it's you think you're in downtown New York or something.
Yeah, it's really nice. It really is. Let's talk about another thing that has happened, because we didn't talk about this last time, and get your opinion of where it came from. But there was a push to change Ashland's form of government, and it died for lack of number of signatures that they have to get on the petition to put it on the ballot. Your thoughts on that, because you would have been directly affected by that as mayor, because it would have taken from a strong city manager council to a strong mayor council type of government.
Well, my first reaction would be this, and my reactions were in the paper because obviously you're exactly right. A person like me or whoever's in this position is primarily affected. And I was mayor before. I'm mayor again. I've been a commissioner several terms. I think I have pretty good outlook and experience. I've worked with a lot of city managers, a lot of city commissions, and the role of a city manager in our form of government is much like a superintendent of schools. School board sets policy. This is what we want to do and how to do this. What we want to teach. You implement it. Very much the same thing. The city.
Yeah.
And I think there was, which is what you usually say, if you have a strong mayor, then obviously you may, if you don't have that, you probably had a weak mayor. And they really don't mean that. I never took it personally, but of course the people say a weak mayor form of government is like this. Well, I can attest that I'm not a weak mayor in any form or fashion. I think you could ask my commission. You certainly could ask the city manager. But anyway, I will tell you this, Jim. I think, and I'm not trying to be self-serving. I had so much experience down there, and if anybody that could be a strong mayor, I think I could do that. I don't want to do that. I do not think that someone runs for 4 years, and it could be anybody. I'm not saying not bad, good people, but you take a person that's worked in the industry, pretty good with handling people and all that. All of a sudden, you're going to hire and fire. You are going to hire and fire any and everybody in the city of Ashland. And when you sit down with negotiations, whether it's with the firefighters, the police, general situations in the city, it's you. It isn't the committee. It is you. And I don't feel, and superintendent, I was in schools 39 years, superintendent my last 8. I had a lot of experience being the top guy that everybody shoots at all the time. I don't think I'd be qualified to be the strong mayor. It would cost the city more. They're going to have to pay a mayor a bunch. It's set up to have a lot more commissioners. I mean, it's such a cumbersome situation. The bottom line is we have a very effective form of government in Ashland. We have had city managers. I know there were a couple weak spots. You're going to have that. And the good thing about it is there's a system in place to not keep them. When you have a good one, there's systems in place. Everything's going well. We have an outstanding city manager now. Colonel Gracie ran 4 posts. He was the post commander. They were all larger than the city of Ashland. And he, in our interviews with him and in many of my discussions one-on-one with him since he's been here, he was over water, sewer, sanitation, police force on the base, the majority of people on a base. Now, this may get to you a little bit. Some of the bases, it fluctuates. Any given day, you have more civilians working on the base than you have military. So it's very similar to running a town.
Yeah.
You got the wives or the mothers or whatever calling your office, say, hey, there's strung garbage all over my yard this morning. What are you going to do about it? My water pressure is terrible over here in this building we're in. And he's had a lot of experience like that. But I will tell you this: he's a very, very smart guy, and he listens. And when he doesn't, I tell him to slow down. Let me explain this to you. Don't choke on a gnat. And swallow a camel, as they say.
Yeah.
But step back. And I think he would tell you if you interviewed him that I probably helped him the most in stepping back and kind of wait till tomorrow and take a look at this again. And we do that. You do it.
Oh, absolutely. You have to do it.
I do it. I didn't used to do it regularly, but I've learned to do it.
As you get a little bit older and more experienced, you learn to do that.
Yeah, and don't knee jerk to things and all that. And I think he's developed into. I'm very proud to have him.
Well, I guess the question I have was the push to do this, to change the government, over because people aren't happy with the city manager?
Well, you'd have to ask the signers of the original document.
I guess so, but
I'm not.
That's what it appears to me.
Well,
because it would do away effectively with the city manager, right?
I think that's a reasonable assumption you're making.
Okay.
But how I was kind of twofold on it when I read about it. I didn't know anything about it. I read in the paper like everyone else, which is a little odd to me. But when I read it, I felt like there's probably some personality situations here. But two things hit me. I said, well, I'm not for this at all. I don't think it's the right thing for Ashland. What we have is proven. I mean, it's over 75 years we've had this kind of, and it's been good. And when we've had somebody that wasn't doing a good job, you don't go on with them. But the one thing I do want to say is that it probably, I don't know how many signatures they got. I don't know, but I know they didn't get enough. But every once in a while, I have thoughts of put it on the ballot. I think you would find out the citizens of Ashland are very happy. The people I would run into would say, "What's going on? What's the deal? Is there something we don't know that's going on?" I said, "No." And what do you think? That's why I think we have a good government the way it is. And wouldn't you want to be the strong mayor? I said, no. And if you think back, you've been around a little bit too. You're still a young guy, but you've been around. I have seen mayors here. No way. I want them to be a strong mayor in the city of Ashland. I think the residents look at it like that. They get elected 4 commissioners. They usually know one of them. Sometimes they don't. They may know more than one. You can see them anywhere, talk to them, and we're the policymakers.
Right.
City manager's just an administrator, and he's joined the ICMA, the national professional organization. He's learning a lot more about the city manager role. But as far as I'm concerned, having being a colonel and having taken care of those Army bases, he came in running.
Oh yeah.
So
very, very well qualified.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Pogue Landing Days, which is coming up in less than a month. Mm-hmm. We'll have a bunch of people here in downtown Ashland. It's become a really nice fall festival, hasn't it?
It's become huge.
Yeah.
And it's. I think last year even they talked about we potentially have as many people and probably have more because more people could partake in this. A lot of people are not as interested in acts on the river, or maybe it's the acts they're not interested in, whatever. But everybody loves the music and stuff in the middle of town, crafts, food. It's as you said, it's a great fall festival. It's gotten so big, and are getting bigger acts in. That's not the big draw, I don't think. It's just coming in. This is like old time Ashland.
Yeah. When
everybody parks everywhere you can and just walk the streets of Ashland.
Yeah, there's food, there's music, there's arts, crafts, there's things for kids. It's your old time city festival.
Yeah.
And it's usually beautiful weather.
Absolutely.
Where it's a little bit of a chill in the air, but not quite cold yet.
Yeah.
It's really a great time.
I applaud the leaders, and Phil Stewart, a friend of mine, he basically took it and ran with it several years, and probably was the major catalyst in going out on a limb to do bigger and better things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's evolved into one of our real significant things we do in the city of Ashland, and obviously tourism is going to be a big part of promoting that.
Absolutely.
So they'll be up and running, I can tell you.
All right. Anything else?
No, but I again appreciate my favorite radio station being right in the middle of my downtown.
Well, we appreciate being here, too. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, the mayor of Ashland, Steve Gilmore, our guest every other Wednesday right here on The Breakfast Club.